Guys, current scenes, I'm driving along, we've just come out the trampoline park. Yes, it is really happening. Ricky is cooking sausages. Whilst I'm driving, and this is the great thing about a camper van. Guys, as you know, I did have the motorhomes, but I've decided they're slow, they're old, so what I've done is got this van. It's a long wheelbase van. I'm going to take the bulkhead out. This in the van, I don't know what's happened to it. I think it was an old Vosa vehicle. It's got all these wires everywhere up here. It's already got that in it, which is pretty handy. Some sort of aerial thing. It's got loads of wires like this. So it was some sort of camper, and it's all been stripped out, and there's just wires like this everywhere. And like this. I'm going to go through it with a multimeter and see what exactly we're dealing with. We've got groups of wires like that as well. Yeah, like that. Down here is the same. Some sort of vent on the outside, but as you can see, it's just a shell. The plan is to put a bed here, one above here, some sort of kitchen area, and I want to do it as cheap as possible, which is what I'm going to do. So this video is aimed at turning a van into a usable camper, which is much better than just camping in a tent. You know, all I want is power to power up phones and sort of things, nothing major, simple electrical system for as cheap as possible, a usable camper van. That's what I'm going for. Right, let's start. I bought some wood and I want to build the bed frames today. I'm going to be calculating roughly how many hours it take as well, and I'll let you know in the video. I've just put a line here, I don't know if you can see it, because I want to have a garage on this bit sort of coming up so high with, so it goes down there, it's about that high, and then it has an overhang of 2 foot, so it's like a 4 foot double, and then these beds, a bed will be starting here going to about here, if you know what I mean. So it'll overhang, you can still see it underneath the bit where it's overhanging. I don't have any sort of qualifications, and we'll be making this up as I go along, and I think looking at a lot of other things, I want to try and get it in, and then I will use the fixing points of the van. I do want to insulate. I've looked into insulation and bits and pieces, but right now I'm doing this as cheap as possible, and I've looked at a few videos online, and I'm just sort of going to wing it. And so the bed will go there, 6 foot comes to about here, just trying to mark out where the beds have got to go, sort of thing. So I'll catch back up with you in a sec. So what I'm doing is making a bed frame, but I was going to have these bars at the bottom, but I thought for lightness and I want to keep the weight down, obviously less weight, less fuel, because I don't plan to do 300 miles a year in this. I plan to go off around Europe once I trust the engine. I'm going to raise that up and then just have bits going down and then secure it to stop it moving from side to side with L brackets on here, so the whole thing will come together as a solid structure. Obviously just starting to get dark. I've sort of made a bit of a bed frame up, and that is currently what it looks like. Guys, my parents being hoarders have come in handy, because I've managed to salvage quite a bit of wood out their garden. Look. In here I found a load of screws, which has been handy. In here I found some wood. I'll take you around to the camper in a moment and show you exactly what's happened since we were last there. Not much has happened, but I want to document this so you can see and get ideas for your own one if you're doing that sort of thing. So yeah, back around at the van. Basically, since I was last here, it's a bit of a mess. I've made these frames. I wanted these beds as low as possible because I will be putting a bed here, and I've calculated, here's my precision marking, that if I sit on there, that's the height of I'm going to get memory foam off eBay. You can buy like a 3 foot single for like 30 quid, then I'm going to cut it, and these are only 2 foot, so the other bit that's 1 foot will come up the side eventually. I've screwed these bits of wood into the side. I found so far quite a lot of these vans, it's been about calculating stuff. So like, obviously every van is different, but I thought, right, I'm going to put the bed here. I need something to screw it to, so had to drill some little holes, and then just got some screws in there. Same this side, same over there, so I'll have a beam coming across, These beds, I'll have a bit in the middle which sits in there, so it'll be a big king size or queen size. These will lift up, that's the plan, and yeah, I've got to bolt them in yet, but they will be the length of the bed. The main thing we're doing this van is so a lot of us can sleep comfortable. We're not worried about absolute neatness. We're just doing it on a budget. You had to suck eggs, but you know what I've done? I was using a spirit level on certain things, and I thought I can't do that because the van's not on certain ground, and I nearly forgot again and again. So in a van, unless you're parked on some dead straight road, you can't use a spirit level. You've kind of got to look at markings on the van up here and be like, right, we'll go off that, we'll go off that. If that's straight and that's straight, we'll go to get the, like, make sure the bed's straight. If you know what I mean. Hope that makes sense. But we get there. This is going to be the cheapest van conversion you've ever seen on the whole of YouTube. Trust me. How's it going? Since I last spoke to you, I have been to B&Q, bought 2 limps of wood, which are going to go up here. Also decided to stuff my face with a massive tiger bread sausage and egg baguette, which felt good at the time, but I'm not feeling too good about it now. So yeah, next bit is to get these in, and then we will go from there. Very strong beam which I've already hung on. As you can see, I've got 2 massive screws and I just chucked another one there. Probably don't even need it. Probably get away with 1 screw if you really wanted to. I went in B&Q and got these little pick and mix bags, so it's got 4 of them holding it in. They're like that much thicker screws. Like, picked up the hinges for these because these will be doors for underneath storage. Something's happening. Guys, we've got the framework in now, as you can see. So this is 4 foot, and we're just out here cutting the board right now. I was going to put L brackets on here, just making this frame, which will be a bed and a seat safe, but I don't know why I didn't think of it, but my dad did, just put blocks of wood behind, but they're not quite biting up, so I might still use L brackets, or maybe it's a 2-man job. I really need to get someone to hold that. But that will make these beds full on the strength sideways, and hopefully, you know, that'll just make them a little bit better. Just currently marking out and getting the size of the bases we need. I would say the biggest thing with these campers, if you're doing them and you're like me, just making it up as you go along. Measure and then measure again and proper double check, because there's a couple of times where I've cut something and then I realise, oh shit, I didn't account for that bit. So proper make sure you've got the right size, otherwise cutting these boards at £30 a time and realising you've cut it a centimetre too short, etc. can get expensive if £30 is a lot of money to you. In the grand scheme of things, do you get me? But I want it to get to that stage now where it starts looking like a camper. At the moment it just looks like one of them bodge builds you see on some Facebook group. It says half finished camper van. You're like, no mate, you just spent half a day putting wood in it. See, at the moment, I mean, I found some wood, I've got some wood cheap. At the moment it sets me in 50 quid right now. Result. Just hand cutting the bed bases. Possible, I have been sealing the wood using PU18. You can get Sikaflex, but this is literally half the price. Right now I'm just doing the other bed. Got the hinges on this one. Trimmed a little bit of that off. Yeah, I've used a bit of that stuff on there. I will put the hinges on. This gap obviously is for the table that will be there, and then it will come down to make up the other part of the bed, so you'll actually have a king size bed. Is it king size? I don't know. King size or queen size? 5'6". Yes guys, so since you were last here, I haven't bought the camera out for a couple of days, but I have gone to Screwfix, bought some bubble foil insulation, because I am doing this on a budget, you know, it's going to be a budget conversion, and I've started to glue the sides in. Really simple stuff. I actually found Screwfix was the cheapest place out of everywhere. It was like 80, no, not even 80. Under £80 for a 25 metre roll. I looked on eBay and a few other sites, and that was the best price I could find for a 1.5 metre high. A lot of them, you know, are cheaper. Then you check and it's only 10 metres and that. So, from my research, Screwfix is the cheapest. Really simple to cut, and I bought a can of spray glue in there, and it just sits in there really nice. So all I'm going to have is boards over this, and then hopefully that should hold some heat in. You know, I'm not planning on going to the Antarctica with this, so. With this and the balls and the carpet, that's going to be good enough for me. Do you know what I mean? We're lads. I have to say, I found putting this foil back insulation in quite therapeutic in a way. I don't know why. It kind of is. It's one of those jobs. I like this spray glue as well. First time I've used this sort of spray glue. No. Oh yes, look at that. What else? The memory foam toppers as well. So these are 4-inch memory foam toppers. Just go on eBay, just type memory foam topper. You can spend stupid money on mattresses for a camper, or buy a 4-inch memory foam topper off eBay. I paid £60 for 2 3-foot ones. These beds are 2 foot. I'm going to cut there, and then that'll be like the side, obviously, and then when you're sleeping on this, that bit will come and go there, which will make up a big king size. The other one I haven't unpackaged, I just put it up there. And that's an old memory foam topper that I already had for the 4-foot double up here. Other than that today, yeah, I'm just going to carry on with the insulation. I need to get this wall built here and the door. What I'm doing now, guys, is just running the cables for the lights. I promise you, this will be the cheapest usable camper van from a long wheelbase van in the world. Now, maybe not in the world, but it's going to be looking smart, but done as cheap as possible. I could spend an extra £10, £20 on fittings and stuff like that, but I'm really cutting costs to see just how cheap you can make something that's good. Like for me, the difference between a fancy light and that little LED light, I don't care. Do you know what I mean? It's not something I'm going to be using every day. With these cables, yeah, every van's different. I've looked at some vans and thought, oh, that's sorted for getting cables, and then I've come to do my own one and realised, oh, I can't do it like their one, sort of thing. I hope that makes sense to you. Another thing, guys, that's been great with this van. Now, like, I wanted to do this van and see how competitively priced you could make a camper usable. This, I don't know what went on in here. Look, this, I needed some cables for the switches and the cigarette lighter things. This van manifests its own stuff it needs. Like, in the van when I got it, there was a sub in it already. And I just keep pulling out cables out of like ducts that are in it. It was an old Vosa vehicle, and I guess this is all to do with that. But the outside is kind of a little bit camper vanish looking. It's just random wires in here. So that has helped massively. Otherwise I'd have to buy some wires. So when I put the end price of how much everything's cost, I will try and calculate how much the wires would have cost for the grand total. But they're not expensive. Just putting in the lighting wires, guys. I try getting it through that hole. All vans are different, you know, you might be able to get them through the actual beams in the roof easier, but luckily there's already some little clips at the side, so I just clip those in. Well now, impressed myself once again. Now once again guys, this box was already in here, and I kind of know a little bit about electrics. That's not hard, it's just a switch, so it's got an earth for the light on that, a live coming in and a live going out, so I just wired it to get these lights running again. Just that's not how it's staying, but I wanted lights working so I can work in here at night, so that's what I've done. I'll probably use this switch for the lights. I'll have 4 separate light controls. Mainly to maximise on energy. So if you just want a little bit of light on, just leave one on, and then, or you can just have them all on. You get me. What I'm planning on doing is being able to use this as a rough camper in the next week or so. So as soon as I've got the insulation in and some basic wiring, I'm going to head off on the road for a few days, just give it a test. Also, I went to a local scrap merchant's and just picked up a car battery, like a big car battery, for £10. So there's an option there if you didn't want to get a leisure battery, just a cheap car battery. The electrics in here are so simple. I'm literally having a few cables and switches going up for the lights. I don't know if we got that far. Did I show you? Bought these little lights. eBay. I'll show you them on eBay. So simple. Less than a tenner. I'm gonna have the lights in here, and I've got 10 of these. I'm not even gonna use 10. So yeah, some really simple wiring going on. I'm gonna have a few cigarette lighter ports to plug the USB chargers in. I'm not using the cheap ones that you can buy with the USB already in, because the Belkin ones the cheap ones fluctuate. The Belkin ones and etc., especially for like recording equipment and stuff that I've got, I don't want to be plugging cheap USB charging ports into, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have just the charging ports, cigarette things, and then I can just plug my own USB in. Guys, today I have cut this bit of wood. This is the bit of wood that's going to be the table, and it also slots into there to make this a complete double bed. I've just cut that bit of foam there, which goes on there nicely, because that's the backdrop for what is the seats when we're travelling. There's also going to be one over here. I'm just going to cut this one now. I'm doing this video over many days. eBay for your foam. This is 4-inch thick memory foam. I paid £60 for the whole bit here, which will make the chairs. Right, let's get cutting. Trying to just the backstroke of the saw is actually giving it a much neater finish. Shit, screws. Oh god. Sorted. Guys, I've taken the camper out on a maiden voyage just to see if the engine's good, which it's done 100 miles and it didn't break down. There's one weird light coming on the dashboard, but testing the new bed to see how many mandem we can get on it. Sideways, 4-man strong.
4-man strong, and we could fit 5, but Lee prefers to have a bit of comfort, so he's having 4. But we could definitely, if it's the boys, we'd squeeze maybe 5, 6 in there.
Yeah, it might be.
So I've realised actually from calculations that Ali's done, he can get 13 man on it. I'd go for about 8 myself, but yeah.
We're forgetting about the hammock as well. We're forgetting about the hammock.
You could get 3 up there.
Hammock. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You could get
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
One across the front
It's going to be the only 11 berth camper long wheelbase van in the country.
Do it again.
Going about so far, I've found like when you sleep after a few days, you really need it makes you ill when it's the air, like when it's so cold, it just in the morning. So I've bought one of these bad boy Chinese heaters. This is a 5 kilowatt one. I paid about £120 for it. There's a group on Facebook which I rate, and they're very helpful, and they give you information if you're struggling. And there's just a general lot of information on there. There's about 14,000 members, might be more than that. And I was very dubious about buying one, thinking, oh, am I just wasting 120 quid? But I've got it. It's actually pretty. It doesn't feel like horribly made. You know what I mean? So basically, the unit comes with a base plate. What a lot of people do is they angle grind a bit in their van floor, like from there to there to there to there, so that whole bit fits in, and then they just screw this base plate and seal up that gap. It's got an alright, nice plug connector there. Comes with some thin old fuel pipe, I might change that myself. Comes with a bag of accessories. It's very self-explanatory. Like, if you know a little bit about DIY, you're not going to struggle with this. Load of clips and bits and pieces. You've got to be really stupid to not... Do you know what I mean? You can ask the odd question, but if you can't work out most of what that is and you know about DIY, this job's not for you. Little bit of stainless pipe, exhaust. Cute, isn't it? Oh! What else we got in here? T-piece for the air ducting. So that'll come out under the seat somewhere or something like that. For the diesel heater combustion side of it, you've got this little... I don't know what that... It's not really an air filter because it goes straight through. I don't know. It's just... But that comes out your van underneath. That's where the combustion chamber gets its air from the diesel heater. You've got a fuel pump here. Very nice. You get a little fuel filter, which you can change. I've opted for this one that's got a dial on it. Focus. Just because I want something simple. You know, in a van, if I'm cold, I just turn it on, turn it up, jobs are good, and 3 wires coming out of it. I assume that's a live and a send. I've been told that this is not actually a thermostat, so I don't know yet. But if it's not, I'm going to look into getting 12-volt thermostat and wiring up something in between that. So I think I've been told, and looking on that line, this might just be a fan speed and a fan heat, like. But I don't know. I'm unsure at the moment. We'll find out. You get a wiring loom, very simple, literally plug and play. Just a plus and minus to your battery. The connections, they're not all, you know, like people think, oh, Chinese. It's not all horrible. It just looks like your car wiring loom. Like, it's not all horrible on that. And that's about it. What I'm going to do today, like, I'm one of them people, if I get something, I need it working that day. And today, I mean, it's 3 AM now, but I've decided that I couldn't sleep. If you can see down here, guys, I've got a hole there, and there's a hole that just somehow fitted in perfectly right there. There's another hole here. Yeah, so that's alright. No drilling of the floor will be needed. So, for the time being, I'm just going to connect the fuel line through that hole and just get this thing running, really, and just give it a test. That is the underside. That's what sticks through the van. So somehow I've got to get that through that hole, which is going to be pretty interesting, but right, let's give that a go. To the filter up, I've got a little bit of red diesel. I've got the pump connected. I've got that bad boy sitting down there with that hose. Connected the earth up professionally. We've got the live connected. Now this has got blue lights lit on. What is going to happen is the oh, look at that. What's going to happen? No, eh? Just turn it up. What's going to happen? Just turn it all the way up. It's putting fuel. I can see the air bubbles. I need to put it somewhere to stop it moving. I didn't realise how much that. Proper feel it going for it. Yeah, like you'd be happy with that. Like I can't. My hands are quite hardcore, but if you. I start to, yeah, that's nice. It's been running over half an hour now, guys, and I've got to say the heat that comes out of here makes you, I can see why people think, oh, it must be a way of heating up water. Could you put a pipe in there? Like, the heat is ridiculous now. Yeah, it's sort of a bit of a mismatch of stuff. I'm going to lower it a bit so the level of the worktop is level with this window, which was already here. And I've bought, wait for it, this worktop, which is actually an old table from a place called Necessary Furniture near my house. And I'm going to make that the kitchen worktop. Right guys, let's cut this worktop. Beautiful. Hit the subscribe button. Time to get this worktop glued on and screwed on, but I like to use a bit of the old PU18 to hold it down. We don't want any funny squeezy business, do we? I'm not sure it's going to work now. Shoe's been sitting around for a while. There we go. That. Under here, oh look at it. That's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. Just got to get these screws in. These are actually the original screws that come with. That's the table guys, and the bits that are underneath are going to be like going around the edge here just to stop anything falling down the back. Originally I was going to have this the same height as the bottom of the window, but it is really a bit too low, so there'll be a bit of a gap and the window will be a bit down, but I don't really care about that. So that is the base of the bed. I'm just trying to work out, obviously I did do these beds extra long, but how much do I cut off, or do I even cut off? Like, is it a problem in a camper? Could they just step over to go that side? Would we even use the table? But I'm going to do it anyway because it's just going to be a handy thing. How high up would it be if you've still got the memory foam cushions on? Just a lot of questions I'm thinking, Yeah guys, so that tyre, anyone who's doing a conversion knows the tyre doesn't seem to have a place where it goes underneath. So this is where the garage is. There will be a little door coming inwards here. It could also double up as an area where the toilet could be if I had a bird and she didn't want to shit in a bush. But this tyre will be bolted onto here as high as possible. But I need to screw obviously something on there so that is much more solid first, and then that keeps that tyre out of the way, because the fact that they're producing cars without spares now is absolutely ridiculous. Get that tyre out of the way. It might actually work. Not the exact idea, we'll have to get another bolt, but another job jobbed. Yes guys, it's about the 28th of July. No, July? Oh. Guys, today is the 30th. Guys, today is the 30th. Guys, today is the 30th of September 2020. The camper van project has been going on a couple of years, and to be honest, I had great intentions of finishing it off, but I don't ever think it's going to happen. The camper is now going up for sale. It's pretty much out of MOT. I don't know what it'd need for a new one, but I've just come back from a 1,000-mile journey in it. I went up to Wales, around the Lake District. The thing didn't miss a beat. Sometimes, now and again, the fuel drains back and you have to pump the thing under the bonnet. I don't know why it's done that. I changed the thing because I thought it might have a one-way valve and the fuel goes back, but it hardly ever does it. So I know what it is when it does it, but so it's never really worried me. But this is it. This is as far as it ever got. So up there is the top bunk. You've got a garage at the back. This is a super king size bed. You've got the memory foam, which was originally going to be where I just had the 2 seats and it would fold into just a memory foam bed, but I decided when I'm on the road that is like an absolute comfy beast of a bed to sleep in. So it was all, for me, it was all about having a comfy night's sleep and being able to cook up. I've got this oven here, Camper Roast Master. That is an absolute lifesaver. I've also got 2 AGM Lifeline batteries, I think they're called, big old ones off a what they call it, off a yacht. I actually bought them second hand. They're beasts. I've got this smart charger, so it has, these batteries are like, they can go upside down and stuff like that, so this controls them. Also you can plug a what's it called, a solar straight into that. You've got the gas bottle down there, a 7 kilo one. Chinese diesel night heater, that has been an absolute lifesaver. Sometimes when it's not even that cold, like it's a little bit, you think, because you've got that, put that on. It's so cheap to run. The diesel tank for it is just down there, which is actually, you can see it there, right by where you fill up your normal diesel, so you can do them both at the same time when you need to. I've got running water. I've got that little bit I built there extra for the running water. You've got a window there. I started to put some of this wood around the edge of it and just sort of spruce it up, and as you can see, that's as far as it got. I didn't get any further than doing the roof or this side of the door. You've got charging points, so you can lay in bed on your phone there. Also have the disco light if you turn them off. That's just plugged in on one of them. Yeah, phone charger there. In fact, I need to put my phone on charge. I'll prove it works to you. No. Oh, I've got to plug that in. Yeah, it's on. Charging. What else have I got to say? Yeah, up here, loads of storage. This shelf is solid. Eventually I was going to build a thing that goes across that. You've got a thermostatic roof vent. Now with the Chinese diesel heater, what you can do, if it's getting too hot in the night, you can put that on, so if it gets too hot, that comes in and blows cold air in or out. You can have it sucking air out or blowing air in, thermostatically controlled there. That is a very good thing. Under here, this oven was not designed to be in a worktop, but I've made it fit and I've not had any problems with it like that. Little bit of blacking around the edge, but it's never caused any problems. And it does mean with the lock like that, with this gap, it means you can actually have stuff on the go whilst you go along. Yeah, all your cutlery, bin, 25 litre freshwater storage tank. That I just literally take that out when I've washed up and just throw the water out. You've got bowls and bits and pieces up there. A shower. You've got a shower. I actually had a shower with that in that bowl. And it worked a treat. In fact, I've got a little video. There you go. What else? What else have I done? Oh, you've got a whopping sound system. You've got a 12-inch sub under here and another 12-inch sub and a 4-way amp. You've got them 6x9s up here powered from the amp. The stereo in this, like, I'm about my sounds. The stereo in this, when I say the stereo kicks out, it's loud, it's fucking loud, like good sound. Like you come away with this, drive out into a country lane, turn it up, you stand about here, fucking lovely sound. Bearing in mind it's a camper van, probably not the most thing you think of when you're building a camper van, but I wanted a loud stereo in it. When I'm parked up, I just love the sounds. I put this in it originally temporary before I built that shelf, and it's actually come in quite handy. It's just sort of used as a general thing for storing everything. Alcohol in there and bits and pieces, that's come in really handy. What else should I tell you about this? What else do I know? Under here, if you didn't have this mattress, that comes away and you can walk straight through the middle of it, and then you'd have 2 single beds. Original plan was to have that bit of wood that's in the middle as a table that I was going to somehow support, so you could actually have 6 people sitting here. It's kind of half built, and it's not that simple. If I had another bit of wood there, like that side, you could clip the table in and you could do that if the mattress wasn't there, but obviously I decided the mattress was a priority for me. Yeah, you can see the little garage at the back. What else is there to say? In fact, let's take that to the front. Up there is 4 inches normal foam, 2 inches of memory foam topper. What else can I tell you? Yeah, all the water, just prove that works. Because it's up for sale, so there you go. Oh, hang on, we'll turn them off. I'll show you the outside briefly without the number plate in it. That's what it looks like. It's got them random bits there. Original connection. I think this was a camper before. When I bought it, it was stripped out. It's actually an ex-Vosa vehicle. Can you see it? So it's been well looked after. It's got them chevrons at the back, making it very stealthy. Round here, window. Yeah. Loads of storage space for loads of stuff. Lights up there, I haven't actually wired them in. The wire's sitting inside. Spare wheel, I tucked it up out of the way there. Disco shorts. Yes, that is, oh, you've got a tow bar on there as well. I think I've covered everything. Any questions, if you're interested, drop me an email in the description below. This will be going up on local eBay and bits and pieces. So thanks a lot, hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll actually do a camper van and finish it off one day, but for now, have a good one. And it's not getting any warmer now, is it? Winter is upon us. Quick one, the van's done 123,000, backed up by the Vosa database, that's the stereo. You've also got these Porsche seats. I've only got one fitted. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, but I've got the other one in my lockup. It'll be a two-seater in the front originally. That's how I was going to have it anyway. The seat that was here originally was totally knackered, so that's why that's not there now. Yeah, the van not that long ago had a new MOT put on it. It had an oil leak. It was a lower crank seal. Not MOT, cam belt. It had a new cam belt. And obviously oil change. I've put a new turbo on it since I've had it as well. Like a reconditioned one about 10,000 miles ago. But this thing has been to like Amsterdam, Scotland, Wales a few times, Lake District recently. And the engine, the main reason I bought it in the first place was because of the engine. Like I knew the engine and I wanted the Iveco 2.8 lump. It sits on the motorway 70-80, no worries. Obviously 80 if you're abroad, because we was in Amsterdam. Yeah, it's a beauty. It is actually done well, but for now I think it's just too big for what I need it for now. That's the main reason it's going up for sale. I've had my fun, you know. These things, you can't hold on to them forever, otherwise you get too attached, don't you? Right, that is all I want to say. Cheers.